the economy will not do well because of what we call the macroeconomic environment. And for the first 2 years of your administration, Mr. President, you worked very hard, and we are now having a fairly stable macroeconomic environment in our country. The interest rates are coming down, inflation has come down, the currency has been stable for some time, and we have the highest ever foreign exchange reserves in the history of our country. Your Excellency, the third and fourth year, and this is where we are now, you've been leading us now to move into building on the macroeconomic stability to create microeconomic progress, job creation, and expanding the economy to provide enough jobs and income opportunities for individuals, and also increasing household incomes. And Your Excellency, we are right on course under your leadership. And that underpins why we are gathered here today, because every opportunity given to a Kenyan in terms of a job, in terms of an income opportunity, helps us build and move closer to the realization of the bottom-up economic transformation of our country, and it helps us realize the vision of getting Kenya from where we are today in the third world to the first world economic status. Therefore, Your Excellency, these interns, 5,500 of them, are part of the many other initiatives the administration that you lead is creating for young people and for Kenyans in terms of jobs and income opportunities. And today, I am a very proud member of the government that you lead, even as we celebrate this milestone. The last thing I want to say, Your Excellency the President, is this housing program, being one of the flagship programs of this administration, as the Minister has said, is now picking off, and the consequences and the effects and the impact of this program are beginning to get seen and get felt. And therefore, the public housing program, this housing program, is going to be the driver of the housing sector, even as private sector supplements the housing needs of the people of Kenya. Your Excellency, so far so good. We must continue farming up on the professional standards and quality control systems that are in place to make sure that the houses that are being built are safe in the long term for the people of Kenya. And Your Excellency, we must start thinking through how, working with the professional bodies that regulate some of the professions that are in the built environment, how, going forward, we must introduce and implement consequence management for professionals who, under their watch, they make decisions, which decisions ends up having the kind of situations we had 2 months ago when we had a building, of course not part of this program, that had collapsed somewhere in this Nairobi. There must be consequences for all professionals, as well as all the agencies involved, whether they are agencies of county government or national government, it must mean something for you to be a professional. And under your watch, or through a decision you have taken to approve something, something happens that affects the safety and well-being of the people of Kenya. I charge you, interns, to work with the consultants and your seniors in the profession to help us have very good outcomes of these programs and other programs in the built environment. Mr. President, you've done us proud. You continue shaping and improving the vision of a better Kenya, a more prosperous Kenya, a more inclusive Kenya. We will support you, and I want to congratulate you for the milestone that we are here to celebrate today. Na kwa sababu rais umeleta hii mradi, hawa interns wameniambia wamefurahi sana, umewapatia nafasi ya kuanza maisha yao ya taaluma zao. Without this opportunity, Your Excellency, what Kenyans require is an opportunity to get started, and they will be able now to use that network to build on their future. Na kwa sababu rais umefanya hiyo mambo, our interns wameniambia nikwambie wewe ni fire. Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. Naomba tusimame tukaribisha rais. Wacha nisikie makofi ya rais, makofi ya rais, makofi ya rais.
Good morning, everybody. Hamjambo. Bas, you can take your seats. Mr. Deputy President, all the other leaders present here, members of consulting firms, our construction companies, and the people of the moment, interns in the construction industry. Everybody, I want to welcome you this morning to this very important occasion. I am very happy, truly, that we are having this meeting. When I see the men and women here, professionals from the construction industry, professionals who are planners, surveyors, quantity surveyors, engineers, whether they are electrical engineers, they are mechanical engineers, structural engineers, people who work in the ICT space, and the host of professionals that are represented here today. I am very proud that indeed the housing program is maturing, and we have professionals, we have workers, we have companies, we have consulting firms in the equation. And let me begin first by saying that this moment is a very consequential moment, so to speak. Very consequential because our country, Kenya, I remember when we went out for the campaigns, one of the single most asked matter by citizens was the millions of young people who get out of school, get out of college, get out of universities, and there isn't a concrete plan on how and where they are going to work. And it was one of the issues that has always been discussed in this country. And therefore, we set out to have a conversation. And we set out to have a plan. And we put our ideas together. And we rolled it into a manifesto. And today, this is one of the meetings that confirms that the manifesto was not a piece of paper, that the manifesto was not a newspaper, that it was about a plan, about real issues affecting real people. My very able deputy has told you that we had to set the base. We had to put together the foundation upon which we were going to run all our other programs. And that foundation was the soundness of our economy. I know the conversation about the economy sometimes looks too lofty and sometimes in very strange figures and language about inflation, about GDP, and all the other things. But let me just put it simply, that we had a very serious challenge as a country in 2022. Of the 5 countries in Africa that everybody believed globally that they were going to default on their foreign financial obligations, Kenya was among them, because we had the largest Eurobond debt of $2 billion. And so everybody expected that Kenya was going to default. And indeed, of the 5 countries that everybody expected to default, 4 defaulted. Kenya did not. Yes. And I say so proudly because it is us, the people of Kenya. It is the government of Kenya. It is the professionals that we have in this country that we sat together, figured out, eliminated what was not necessary, removed unnecessary subsidies in fuel, in unga, in all manner of places, cut down on expenditure. I remember we had to reduce the budget. We went to parliament. We reduced the budget by 300 billion Kenya shillings. And it was tough, you know. But those decisions we made, difficult as they may have been, necessary because they were, made our country escape the shame of defaulting on our foreign obligations. We have since built a firmer foundation. We have made the necessary decisions. Today, I can confidently stand before this gathering and before the people of Kenya that our economy is way different from what it was in 2022. Inflation has come down from 9.6% to 4.5%. Our dollar exchange rate that had gone all the way to 165, today it is 129 and coming down. Just watch this space in the coming months. Our foreign exchange reserves that had come down to almost 2.5 months of import cover, about $7 billion. Today, our foreign exchange reserves has risen to $12.3 billion, the highest in Kenya's history. These are numbers that I am not telling you. These are numbers that are available in any financial metrics. Our economy has grown, and now we have overtaken Ethiopia, we have overtaken Angola. We are now the 6th largest economy in Africa. That is Kenya, by the way, just in case you are wondering which country I'm talking about. Yes, that is Kenya. The one that I hear some politicians say is a failed state. I think the failure is not in Kenya, the failure is in their small minds. And upon that foundation, we have built the rest of the plan. We have built the rest of the plan. And because I am talking to interns, I am talking to people who've just gotten out of college, out of university. We all know that any country that has made any meaningful development, they have done so by building their human capital. Education is significant. And that is why today, as I talk to these interns, we are giving them an opportunity for you to go and experience in live infrastructure projects, not in simulated environments, in life what you have learned, and to sharpen the skills that you have learned, and to actualize some of the things that you learned in classroom. We have also equally rolled out a whole plan on how to make our education relevant to the requirements of today and the future. We have increased the budget by significant amount from $500 billion in 2022. This year, these members of parliament will tell you, we have a budget of $702 billion for our education sector. Why are we doing that? Because education is important. I see some people try to talk about education. And I want to tell them, in 2022, we had huge challenges in the education sector. We had a chronic shortage of teachers. We had a chronic shortage of classrooms. 21 of our universities were technically insolvent because of funding challenges. Most of our TVETs had serious problems because of funding. I stand here today to tell you that we have sorted out all those issues. Number one, we have hired, as of this January, 100,000 teachers in the last 3 years. No other administration in Kenya's history has done so. We have built 23,000 classrooms. And we have provided resources under our new student-centered model that does not give money to a university. It makes sure that every student is assessed as a student, and we give them scholarships on the basis of need and merit. And ask any vice chancellor today, ask any vice chancellor, they will tell you they can now pay salaries, they can pay their suppliers, they can even pay taxes, and the universities are getting out of insolvency.